Hello and welcome to the Investus Digital Keynote presentation, Part 1. I'll be your host today. My name is Andrew Normore. I'm the founder and CEO of Investus Digital. A little bit about me. I'm a professional software developer and I've been doing that for over 10 years. And I've worked for some very large companies doing finance, lead gen, education, and marketing. I've personally spent 100 grand on Facebook ads, 25 grand on Google ads. You can tell which one I prefer. I've sold and developed my own large e-commerce software applications. So I negotiated the contracts and then I built the pieces of software that go with them. So I'm all over the board with that. I've been in it for a very long time and I'm good at what I do. I invested in Ethereum before anyone else in the world really knew about it. I put my last $200. I had 200 bucks. I should have put 300 bucks, 400 bucks. I should have sold my shoes and put more in. That $200 ended up being worth $1.2 million about a year and a half ago. It's only really worth about 600 grand now, 650. The reason I haven't sold, in my opinion, by 2030, that Ethereum, I have 249 Ethereum, and I believe it's going to be worth over 5.5 million. And if you don't believe me, which I wouldn't, if I were you, I've got on the very bottom of this website, I have a post about it, and you can see I've provided my receipt from ethereum.org for the pre-sale and a link to my wallet, and you can see what it's currently worth. I'm the father of 3 boys, and I believe in morality, virtue, and self-development. That's one of the reasons I really got into Investus Digital is to teach others. And I almost died from a flesh-eating disease in 2023. And when I woke up, I was ready to get to business. I thought, man, I can't die a fat nerd doing nothing, just working on software. I need to live. So I started this company. And the purpose of the company is in threefold. Our goal is to provide regular people with a better opportunity to invest their money into cryptocurrencies. Right now, it's really for the elite investor or the cyber nerd. There's a whole bunch of people out there, regular folks, who are not investing in cryptocurrency, and it can dramatically improve their life and their financial situation. And that's what I'm going to show you, is how you can invest a small amount of money on a regular basis and turn that into a huge amount of money in 5-10 years time. And I want to help individuals build their own business with world-class training and support. So providing a way for people to become more educated about marketing, about sales, just in general, just have a training platform. Let's start by just admitting to ourselves what Bitcoin is. It's complicated. Again, it's meant for the uber elite rich investor or the cyber nerd. And I mean, I was on a course earlier this week and they're talking about something called a pancake swap, where you can marry 2 coins together and bet your liquidity on future markets at an interest rate. I have no idea really what that means. I myself am still continuing to learn. But we can say, like, look at this, ICO, initial coin offering, a wallet, a blockchain, a hard fork. Let's just take a minute and just briefly go over what Bitcoin is, and then we'll move on quickly from what that is. I don't want this presentation to be dry and boring. It's supposed to be fun and exciting, but we do need to just go over a few things. We're going to power through this slide because Bitcoin is complicated. Let's break it down. So Bitcoin is a digital currency that was created in 2009. It's decentralized, meaning it operates without any authority like a bank. So you know how you send an e-transfer to someone and then you can go, oh, wait, I made a mistake and cancel it. Or if you get hit by fraud, you can call your bank. You can call someone on the phone and say, hey, there's a problem. Because it's decentralized, no one has the ability to do that. There are no refunds, no takebacks. Bitcoin has gained significant popularity and success over the years. There's been some crazy stories and there's been some great stories. Now, 1 Bitcoin can be divided into just about 1 billion parts called a Satoshi. I'll show you that in a little bit. Some notable news stories are that Bitcoin reached an all-time high. One Bitcoin was worth $64,000 in 2021. Bitcoin currently trades at $15 billion worth of trade value across the market on a daily basis. It's been adopted by major companies like Tesla and PayPal. And Bitcoin is becoming a recognized investment asset by institutional investors. Some fun stuff about Bitcoin is that you can trade $1 million of Bitcoin to the other side of the world and you don't have to ask anybody's permission. No bank manager needs to get involved and it's untraceable, undetectable. You can then transfer that $1 million back. So you can just send a million. You could transfer $50 million worth of Bitcoin in a day, and you can't do that at a bank. Imagine trying to transfer $1 million through 5 countries. Just the red tape alone is just, you couldn't do it. So it is online banking with digital cash, and that's hard to wrap your mind around. I'm going to show you that in just a second. All right, this is a little bit easier to digest. Bitcoin is like gold, but digital. So check this out. You've got a gold brick here, and its value right now is about $2,500 for an ounce of gold. But if we were to, now look, you don't have $2,500. If I was trying to sell you gold, do you have $2,500 right now that you're gonna buy an ounce of gold with? No, of course not. So what if I were to sell you just a little piece of it? And if gold goes up, you win. So what we do is we chisel off just a small bit of that. We can melt it down and make coins. That's what pirates liked. Okay, so gold coins are just a different form factor of gold. Gold coin. So one gold coin is 7.98 grams, and that gives you about $50 Canadian. If we look at Bitcoin, one Bitcoin today is worth about $40,000. But like gold, we can chisel a fraction of that off, and that is called a Satoshi. So one gold coin is one Satoshi. If you have 18 million Satoshis, that's about $100 Canadian. And the way that that looks like, if you look at it in the denomination of the whole coin, is 0.0018, okay, or 18 million Satoshi. And so what we can see here is you can't e-transfer gold coins like physical gold, but you can e-transfer a Bitcoin. So if you wanted to send some digital gold, you could chisel off a portion of this and send it to someone. You could buy groceries with it. You could buy a motorcycle. Now you can buy real estate with Bitcoin. So that's what we mean when it's digital gold. Now let's have a look at how Bitcoin has increased in value over the years. So in 2009, this graph, you can't even see it. I mean, it was worth pennies. There's a story that some guy bought a pizza for 22 million Bitcoin, which is insane if you think about it today, because it's worth 27,000 US dollars at the moment. So, like, pretty crazy, right? So for the longest time, it was really just this novelty thing that a bunch of cyber nerds, as I keep calling them. I don't really mean to offend anybody, but it's a great way to say people who were very deeply invested in computer software and engineering and on the cutting edge of new stuff, compiling their own source code and doing crazy things. And then some other people got a hold of it and they were like, wow, this is pretty cool. And so you get your first initial wave, and then that kind of breaks and it does nothing. Years go by and the value kind of stays relatively the same. And then what happens here is sharks got a hold of it. And they were like, wow, we could make a lot of money. And they pumped this up. Look at all the trade volume that was pumped. And it pumped up to $60,000 for one. And everybody then was like, oh, we got to get some Bitcoin. And just as that was happening, they sold billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And then everybody freaked out. And then they pumped it up again. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's called a pump and dump. And this is one of the reasons that people are scared of Bitcoin. But let me tell you, this happens in Microsoft, Tesla, Facebook stock, Amazon stock, all the time. And you can find very similar trends. And if you ever wanted to get into day trading, you can learn these predictive algorithms. Like, this is all predictable. So if we look at this longer trend line, you can see that it goes up. So if you invested in 2011, put your feet up on your desk, you could sit back and you could watch this go crazy. You'd be like, oh man, it's worth so much. Yeah, but it's going to come back down. And what we can see here is a new trend line starting where it's increasing a little bit more rapidly, and that's exciting. And the reason for that is because Bitcoin is introducing some new stuff. Not that I care about that. Like, oh, cool, Bitcoin's doing something new. I'm an investor, so what do I care that it's the new feature other than it makes it more valuable? So now I'm going to show you exactly how I turned my $200 of Ethereum into $1.3 million. It was 2014, and I was one of the first people in the world to buy it. Lucky me. I invested, I mean, everything I had to spare. I had $200. It was either beer or Ethereum. Now, on November 21st, Ethereum was worth $6,000 a piece, and I bought it for $1 a piece, or something like that, 95 cents, right? So I got 249 Ethereum. Okay. Now, I could have sold out when it hit 100 grand. I was really excited, and I just thought, just wait. And it got up to 600 grand and 800 grand, and it passed $1 million. But it was happening quick, and I was kind of aware of this pump and dump action. And I decided to hold my cards. In my opinion, Ethereum will continue to grow and grow and grow. In my opinion, and expert opinions on the subject matter, by 2030, my 249 Ethereum could be worth $5 million. So if you think about it, if it's worth $600,000 Canadian now, and the year is 2023, by 2030 it could be worth $5 million. That's a net income of an annual salary of like $650,000 a year. So I may not have that money today, but if I think about it like that, if I just don't touch it, I can make almost $1 million a year. If I wait till 2035, I'll only be at retirement age, and I could retire with, I don't know, 8, 9 million, because this cryptocurrency stuff is here to stay, and it's still a baby. But, you know, it's probably too late for you to invest, right? That's probably what you're thinking. Let's explore. All of the information I'm going to show to you is available on Google, and I implore you, go Google what will the value of Bitcoin be in 2030. And so these are the averages of the results that I found, and these are coming from big tech traders, okay? So right now our value is worth about, well, this is in US dollars, okay? So it's about $28,000 right now. And you can see that it's predicted to continuously rise in 2030. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. You got this thing called DeFi, which is decentralized finance. So now you can sell your house and take part of your house and leverage that against the crypto market. So you can have investors from all around the planet buy a portion of your house and share in the equity of the house through Ethereum smart contracts. It's wildly complicated, but it doesn't matter because we're not invested in the features of the Bitcoin. We're invested in the value of its function, okay? And there's a lot of function, and it's widely adopted in the market. So you can see that if you invested now, it's going to go more than double. Where's the doubling right here? So here's 20, there's 40, so there's one doubling. 40 to 80, there's another doubling. So it's going to have a doubling twice. And there's all sorts of events in here that within the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, cryptocurrency community, there's stuff already planned for these years called halvings and like when the coin splits. It's really complicated. But if you wanted to get into it, this is pretty accurate forecasting, right? So is it too late for you to get in? The answer is no. It is not too late for you to get in. There's a huge opportunity that awaits you. So how much money could you make? Show me the money. Now this is highly speculative, and you're betting futures here, so please don't sue me if you don't get rich, okay? I do not control Bitcoin. I'm just showing you what is possible, okay? That being said, people are getting filthy rich. I'm one of the examples. I spent $200 because I got in early and I did nothing, literally did nothing. And now I hold a Bitcoin certificate worth 650 grand. So let's assume that you are willing to invest $250 a month over 1 year, which is $3,000 a year. After you've invested that much, after 6 months, that will double to $6,300. By 1 year, that $3,000 invested is 10 grand. By 3 years in, you're looking at a $41,000 value. And if you leave it sit, like I've done for 10 years, that's where your millions are made. $3 million on just $3,000 a year. So it's very affordable to get involved. Sit down, do nothing, just invest. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Okay, how do I buy some Bitcoin, right? Well, listen, some warnings. It can be very difficult and usually is. You need to download the apps, create passphrases, save those phrases, manage the keys. Then you have to keep your phone up to date or your wallet up to date if you decide to do it on your Mac or laptop. Hope to God you don't lose your phone, okay? Some applications can infect your wallet with a virus, okay? So you've stored it on your computer. Guess what? Computers are prone to viruses, right? It can be very risky if you don't know exactly what you're doing. There are no refunds in cryptocurrency, and you can't just call customer service to get a credit. I myself tried out this thing called a web wallet, and I put $100 there, and guess what? My $100 instantly disappeared into the vacuum of Ethereum. And there's no one you can call to be like, I got scammed. If you get scammed, you're done. Your money's gone. It can also be very expensive if you don't know what you're doing. If you're on an exchange, for example, and you choose a market order rather than a limit order, you could potentially lose all your money. Like you could really goof that up. And it's a button. Okay? You have to be a pro. So for these reasons, it's exactly why I created Investus Digital. We have greatly simplified the buying process for Bitcoin. And what's cool is that we've open sourced our purchasing algorithm so you can see exactly how much of your investment comes back to you on your initial purchase order. There's no shady business. It's literally a function. It's an algorithm like X equals Y plus B, right? It's like, there it is. Okay, so you're in okay. It's open source. When you get to signing in, there'll be a link to it, and you can see it. Okay, so it's extremely fair. It's very simple. There's no hocus pocus, and you can see where your wallet, your Bitcoin certificate is generated, and then is entered into the system for shipping. Okay, we are very trustworthy, and we stand by that trust. Now that being said, before we show you anything further, I want to just, I'm going to reveal to you our unique product for Bitcoin that greatly simplifies this whole process, okay? Remember that Listerine came out with these strips? It turned out that they doubled their company revenue in a year and made another $1 billion. And all they did was they changed form. So imagine that Listerine, that's the Bitcoin, okay? And imagine if you could just change its form factor to be more convenient, more storable. It's better in every way, but it does the same thing. It's still, at the end of the day, mouthwash. You could create a whole new industry for people. So check out what we've done. Today I'd like to share with you our product, crypto certificates. We have one for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and Litecoin. And the idea is that they are non-technical. You can buy these with a credit card, we mint them, and we ship them directly to your house. You put them in your filing cabinets, and you know that you have soundly invested in cryptocurrency. Here we can see the public address. Think of it like your email address. And here we can see the private key, which is like your password. So if this was an email account, this is your andy@gmail.com, and then this is your password. So the idea is you wouldn't ever show anybody this because you'd be showing them your password. But this certificate right here, this is the demo one, but it would be worth about $100 Canadian of Bitcoin. and we put that in our filing cabinet, and we simply wait a decade, and we wait for this to be worth $1,000. And that is what it is. You don't have to remember your account password. You don't have to look at Flappy Bird. Remember that app? That app, it's stuck on old phones. You can't get it anymore. So what happens if you can't get your Bitcoin app anymore and it's lost forever? Well, these are paper-backed certificates that, unless they melt, burn, or blow away, which put them in a safe or filing cabinet and you're fine, will be valid forever. So why did I make these? Well, number one, there is a need for this in the market. Bitcoin is great if you understand how to find it, how to download it, how to purchase it, how to get your account verified. It's a nightmare to buy Bitcoin. Even if you buy it, if you do go to your local investment center, they hold the Bitcoin for you, which is super sketchy because it's like gold. What happens if the gold walks out the door? Bitcoin is an asset that you should personally hold, and you shouldn't be letting anybody else hold it on your behalf. Not even us. Not even us. Okay, you buy it, it's 100% yours. So number two, the second reason I made these is that successful investors have a diverse portfolio, and banks do consider these to be secure assets as part of a healthy portfolio. And how many you right now watching this video, are you currently investing in anything in Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum? And if not, do you feel like you should, but you don't know how to do it? So this was the bridge to solve that. It's an easy product, and it's a great investment product. And number three, which you'll see later, this can make a difference in your life and the lives of everybody you know. So we have three products that we like to deal with: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, simply because we know that they're the best performing assets in the long term. So think of these crypto certificates like gold. So it's a non-technical way for you to invest in Bitcoin. It's a paper-backed function that acts like a stock or bond. You put it on your filing cabinet, and you own it directly without any intermediaries. If you lose it, you cannot call us and say, oh, can I get another one? I already sent the gold in the mail on the horse. I can't just send you more gold because you lost your gold. Now, if you're at a bank and you got robbed, we can just reimburse your account because we can print money. We can't do that at Investus Digital. We sent this certificate and it's gone. You can only get these certificates at Investus Digital, and you can collect these on a monthly basis. And by doing so, you're investing in yourself and investing in crypto. And so you got to really think of it like gold. So in this picture here, we're putting gold in the safe, and then we're going to bury the safe in the backyard. If you were to put this certificate in here and bury it and come back in 100 years, these would have value. And so there's no computer necessary whatsoever, which is not typical when you talk about Bitcoin. Now you might be thinking at this point, okay, great, I'll buy Bitcoin, but how do I sell Bitcoin for profit? Okay, that is a very complicated question, and it's probably better posed for another time, simply because there's so much to unpack in this presentation, but I'll answer some stuff for you quickly. The answer is, how can I sell my Bitcoin? Well, obviously, you can sell it to anybody who would like to buy. Now, finding people who want to buy, that's a little bit more difficult, but there are a number of exchanges out there. And again, be careful. Some exchanges have known to just disappear with billions of dollars of people's money in them. So you got to be very careful. Now, at Investus Digital, we're introducing a buyback program only for members. So, I mean, if you think about it, we're buying Bitcoin so we can, like when you buy Bitcoin, we have a function that buys Bitcoin. And say it's $20,000 a month that we're buying. We're buying it from all sorts of different places that we've secured. But wouldn't it be better if you wanted to sell it that we buy it back from you, right? Wouldn't that be great? So not only are you continuing, let's say you have $3,000 worth of Ethereum invested, you can now start selling a small part of that back to us and receive, kind of think of it like a dividend check, right? You go, hey, I'm going to take my earliest investment and I'm going to sell that. I'm going to sell one investment a month and I'll put new investments in the other side. So that volume is increasing and you're also getting cash. We have your direct deposit details, and once a month our accountant takes all those details and all the accounts payable, and it just direct deposits into your account. But realistically, there are thousands of places to sell your Bitcoin, and we have a training module on exactly how to do that safely and smartly and securely, no matter where you want to go. We'll buy it, but you can sell it anywhere you want. Okay, now before I let you go, I want to just share something with you. So just think, put your thinking cap on. Our certificates work everywhere. Every part of the planet, these certificates are valid. You can take them to Mexico, China, Canada, Mars, okay? So long as people understand Bitcoin and how to use it, these certificates will enable you to conduct trade. Knowing that you're investing in Bitcoin every month and watching its value rise year after year, could you then share the opportunity with people to invest in Bitcoin and then make a monthly recurring commission when they buy every month? So think about it. When people decide to invest in anything, the investment cycle lasts usually 5 to 20 years. Our RSPs, 20-year commitment. So it's entirely possible that you could build a very profitable business by becoming a reseller of our Bitcoin certificates. And now that you're making money every month while also continuing to invest in your long-term financial success, what would that do for your life? Okay, so stay with me. There's a part 2. If you're interested, come and check out the part 2. So I hope you're interested this far, and if you are, and if you want to know more about this opportunity, please fill out the information on the bottom of the page and continue to the next video where we're going to show you exactly how this amazing opportunity to get rich off Bitcoin in a way that's not scammy and a way that's proven to be successful and everything your wildest dreams could imagine. Fill out the form below and watch the video. It's only about 10-15 minutes long, and you'll thank yourself for doing it. And if not, catch you later.